When Marcus and Bill Todman's match game made such a big comeback in 1973, it instantly became a big success. But in 1977, Barry and Enright, however, decided to tackle this with their own version. Only except, of course, you only had to match one person. Well, answer in order to make a connection. So here it is on the wide world of game shows today. It's the Hollywood Connection. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews presents Wide World of Game Shows. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Noel, the Big D to you. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Back again with another episode of the Wide World of Game Shows. In this episode, I'm going to be tackling another underrated game show from the team of Jack Barry and Dan Enright. Now, you know Match Game was big, as I said already, in the 70s. But in 77, this came along, and it was like it, except you only had to make a little connection with one particular celebrity in a row. Well, in a row, or something like that. You better prepare yourselves, because this is really an interesting type of game. So here it is. I bring to you the Hollywood Connection. The Hollywood Connection was a fun-filled game show produced by Barry and Enright Productions along with Golden West Broadcasters. The show originally premiered in syndication in the fall of 1977, the same year that the Joker's Wild returned after a 2-year absence. Now then, this show was actually taped during the summer and it premiered in September of 1977 on September 5th. The show's host was Jim Lange, who, of course, was already well known for hosting the dating game at the time. While Jay Stewart, who, of course, would also be the announcer for Joker's Wild, which returned the same year, and Tic Tac Toe the following year, announced. Though Johnny Gilbert, pre Jeopardy, announced the earlier episodes. Now, the premise of the game is pretty simple. Two contestants face a panel of 6 celebrities in a game of answering questions about the stars themselves. Similar a concept similar in the format to Mark Goodson and Bill Todman's hit Match Game. As in Match Game, the contestant's goal is to match the stars' answers in order to score points. This is classified as making a connection. Now then, the game is factually pretty simple. Now then, in the first round, the player who won the coin toss chose which row of celebrities, either the top or bottom, to play with. Now, Lang then read a question to those celebrities with 2 possible answers. Unlike Match Game, they showed 2 different answers, after which the stars wrote down their response. Now, I could hardly hear the music they used, but I am going to tell you that their theme music was Geminaries, which of course would later be heard as the category reveal music on The Joker's Wild. Now, when finished, the player in control chose one of the answers that they think the star would say. Unlike Match Game, the contestant gave an answer for each individual panelist rather than the entire panel. Each time the player made a connection, they earned 1 point. After the first player was done, their opponent then had a chance to play with the other row of 3 celebrities. In the second round, points are doubled, which means you get 2 points. It's played in the same manner as the first round, except the player who did not start the last round went first, and that player chose to either play with the men or the women. Each question had 3 choices, and each connection was worth 2 points. After that, there would be a third round. Now, whoever was behind, or in case of a tie, did not go first in the previous round, went first. Each question still had three choices like the previous round, and each connection points were tripled. 3 points. Whoever scored more points at the end of the game won, received a big prize, and played the bonus round. In the event of a tie, a sudden death was played to determine the champion. A perfect score is 18 points. The bonus game went two different ways. In the first week of this series, the celebrities and the champion were shown a picture of a famous person, place, or thing. Then the celebrities wrote down a word or phrase associated with the picture. The champion wrote down three answers of his or her own and placed them next to the values of 300, 200, and $100. With the answer marked at 300, the one the contestant thought the panel would be most likely to write down. The champion called on the stars one by one and tried to match what they had written. Each time the panelist's answer matched one of the champion won the money attached to that answer. After all the stars have shown their answers, if the champion reached at least $1,000, he or she won $2,000 in a trip. After that, it changed. For format number 2, the champion still wrote down three keywords as above, except each connection was worth $250 instead of the original scoring format. Three connections won the champion $750 in a trip. After winning the trip, the champion earned the chance to make two more connections. Each one doubled the contestant's money, meaning that the first one doubled to $1,500 and one more doubled to the maximum amount of $3,000. If at any time the champion was unable to make a connection, the bonus round ended and the money was lost, although the trip was not in jeopardy. The champion had the option before each double round to stop and take the money already won as well as the trip, but they get a special bonus with the trip. Now, another thing is they played a song called an instrumental tune called Jim and Jim as the theme music for the bonus round. The theme song the to the Hollywood Connection was called Virgo, performed by Robert Ascott, which was previously the theme music to an earlier show that Jack Barry produced himself before teaming with Dan Enright, which was Hollywood's Talking, which came out in 1973 on CBS. Now, if I decide to give that a shot, I'll look into it and maybe save that for a future episode, albeit with a slightly different arrangement. Now, I haven't heard the difference between both versions, but I will eventually. Now, after it aired for over a half a year, the show ended on March 3rd, 1978. Now, the series has been rerun on GSN. I'm not sure about anywhere else. I mean, considering CBN pre Freeform and USA have been the only two networks to rerun various Barry and Enright games, I'm not really sure if Hollywood Connection was one of them. GSN games when it was Game Show Network did actually air that. Actually, one of the episodes with the first episode was actually shown on Game Show Network's big debut years back. Later on, they did air some of the series. I watched it a little, but it wasn't catching on with me much. But then, of course, for this edition of Wide World Game Shows, I decided to give it another chance. Well, this was short-lived, but however, Jim Lange did get a little bit of a better chance with a later game that Barry and Enright produced, and that was Bullseye, which premiered 2.5 years later in 1980. And that lasted 2 seasons, although it did change the celebrities later on. If you've seen the episode, then, well, you get the idea. Well, to me, while I think this could have done a little better and what have you, but anyway, yes. Anyway, the show itself, of course, featured numerous celebrities. Now, amongst some of them have included the J.P. Morgan, who of course was already big as one of the judges on the Gong Show, as well as the late great Pat Carroll and the late great Robert Reed. Yes, Mike Brady of the Brady Bunch, and Nipsey Russell, of course. Of course, he would later go on to host a series that Barry Enright produced, and that was his own version of Juvenile Jury, which I'll talk about that in a future episode as well. Zsa Zsa Gabor was another. Joanne Flug was one of them, although she also did appear on Match Game as well. Let's see. Anson Williams from Happy Days was another one. Oh, the list could go on and on. Like I said, I've only seen this a few times. There are a few episodes on YouTube, but not too many though. Now, I can go ahead and let you have a look at what this looks like. Here we go. I'm sorry it's not the best quality, but I'll show you what the shots of the celebrities look like. And I do owe the person who has this on their shot for their video. I do apologize. Now that was from one person who has an episode in multiple parts. There are 4 full episodes together, including the pilot episode. So you gotta get a chance to see some episodes of this game. Anyway, Hollywood Connection was short-lived, but I realized it's fun and what have you. And what may not have been as big as Match Game was, but I mean, Barry and Enright tried their extreme best. I mean, even though they did try it again years later with Hot Potato, which of course its format was similar to Family Feud, except it involved people who did jobs and were three of a kind. Excuse me, everyone. Hiccups. But anyway, if you would like to check the show out, again, there are some episodes on YouTube. Not too many, though, but I think you'll be able to find them without much trouble. So anyway, that's going to do it. What did you think of the Hollywood Connection? Do you think this should have kept going? If so, let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow and make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel. Get them to know me. May they'd like to be a part of my Big D Nation. Share my vids with your friends if you'd like. And join me in a couple days. I'm taking tomorrow off. I'll be back on Friday with a re-review of Jaws for its 50th anniversary. So if you like this, check out these other vids. In the upper left-hand corner, here's another Wide World Game Shows episode I did. And of course, this is the game that kind of drew inspiration for this, Match Game, which, if you haven't heard it, it's coming back after being absent for a few years with new host Martin Short. In the upper right-hand corner is the Wide World Game Shows episode I did on the game that Jim Lange later hosted for Barry and Enright, Bullseye. Or go to the bottom left-hand corner and see the Wide World of Game Shows episode I did on another great game that one of the games I talked about in this video, Hot Potato from 1984. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as Wide World Game Shows. Then I'm your guy, and we will be giving you another episode down the road. Details to follow on if I have any come up next month, but if not, just stay tuned. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying see ya.